With every drop of water, life arises. Water is a vital element without which there is no life. It is a scarce element at the reason behind the continuity of species through time. Since water is a fortune, Morocco has constantly put efforts to preserve it through strategies that highlighted the role of hydraulic basins agencies, which are public institutions with a legal personality and financial autonomy, whose mission is the assessment, planning, and management of water resources at the levels of water basin. At the field level, the basin agency Souss Massa covers both the Souss and Massa basins and the northern coastal basins Tamri and Tamraght, as well as the Tiznit Plain. Its surface extends over an area of 30,455 square kilometers, which is equivalent to 4.5% of the national territory, to include the two currencies of Agadir, Idawtanan and Inzganit Melloul, in addition to the provinces of Agadir Tiznit and Shtuka Eitbaha. Some groups from the regions of Sidi Ifni, Shishawa and Essaouira are partially added to it. Regionally, on the level of its territorial influence, the Water Basin Agency of Souss Massa is responsible for managing water resources, protecting the water media, and coordinating between all stakeholders in the area. It also ensures the sustainability of water supply through planning and conducting research in hydrogeological studies to secure needs of various water users of hydraulic basins in the current times or in the future, in addition to drafting a master plan for the development of water resources and ensuring its implementation, and granting licenses and concessions for the use of public domain water. The role of the agency also, watching over the maintenance of water installations and providing every financial aid and every service, especially technical assistance, preventing water resources from pollution, preparing public water in its use. They're also interested with contributing research, with expressing an opinion in every project related to water resources, keeping a record of recognized water rights, licenses granted and concessions seen with users. On the economic level, the Souss Massa region represents a central economic pole at the national level. Agriculture is one of the main activities in it, as it contributes in a balanced way to the gross domestic product. Fishing and tourism sectors are the main pillars of region development. However, the prosperity of these vital sectors depends greatly on the availability of water resources. Despite the region's semi-arid climate, the basins of the Souss Massa region have important water potentials. The basins include 9 major dams, with a total capacity of 729 million cubic meters, and an organized water volume estimated at 276 million cubic meters. While the area irrigated lands in the basins, about 148,648 hectares. And the Souss Massa region water resources are distributed on 2 levels: surface and ground resources. Surface resources are limited and irregular. There are 4 major rivers: Souss, Massa, Tamri, and Tamraght. Their flow is irregular during the year, whereas the average contribution of surface water in the region is estimated at 671 million cubic meters per year. On the other hand, the groundwater resources are formed from underground reservoirs of Souss and Shtuka. The Tiznit, High Atlas and Small Atlas aquifers play an essential role in supplying water in the region. The overall renewable revenues of these aquifers are estimated about 425 million cubic meters annually. Within the framework of management policies and following the royal directives, the agency ensures the protection of water by funding alternative resources, notably through exploiting rainwater and encouraging the use of wastewater and desalination of seawater. In this regard, the desalination plant was established in Shtuka Eitbaha at a total cost estimated at 4 billion dirhams 41 to provide a total capacity of 400,000 cubic meters per day. Thurbi, respond to the needs of water in the agriculture field and potable water supply. In response to the increasing demand for water in Souss Massa region, the reuse of treated wastewater in Agadir, mainly exploited in irrigation and watering green spaces and golf courses, had a central role in expanding supply resources and preserving potable water and reducing its consumption of nearly 12 million cubic meters of water per year. The legislative, regulatory and institutional sectors have witnessed a great progress to be in accordance with the current economic and social development requirements, especially with the new Law 3650 on water, which was established for the integrated, consultative, participatory and decentralized management of water resources through agencies and new mechanisms to protect water resources. The legislative sector was further strengthened through the establishment of supervisory authorities to ensure the implementation of the law, respectively, Maritime Police, that holds many responsibilities, namely user rights, management and protection of the public domain water, quality control and setting conditions for the exploitation of public domain water, and respecting the conditions stated in the license and privileges, under the supervision of the public prosecution. In conformity with the Law 3615, advisory and regulatory bodies has been created for the Souss Massa Hydraulic Basin, whose responsibility is to express their opinion in all projects related to the management of water resources, notably the Integrated Water Management Plan and Local Water Management Plan. Despite all of this, there are many risks and challenges that still exist at the Souss Massa Basin level, from water management and natural disaster, and in view of the severe damages resulting from the flood. Souss Massa Water Basin Agency adopts a comprehensive and integrated strategy to manage the associated risks, especially within the framework of the FOUND, the National Agency for Combating the Effects of Natural Disasters, as the agency works to strengthen its policy in the field, according to a participatory methodology that includes the involvement of all actors in order to address them and limit their effects. The Basin Agency of Souss Massa also plays a central role in preserving ecosystems of its territorial influence, such as Lake Ifni, Wintimdwin Cave, streams and valleys. These milieux are home to rare birds, species, and variety of animals. They are also considered distinguished geoecological heritage. The agency also gives special importance to developing information systems, such as Badr 21 system and the National Water Information System, adopted as an essential element of the National Water Plan stipulated in the Water Law 3615. Furthermore, the agency uses a remote sensor system to observe, control and evaluate the extraction of groundwater and record results of measurements made by the various hydrological and climatic stations in different places of the Souss Massa region. Water is a common right, therefore the water law states that its rational use is the responsibility of everyone. And in order to activate its contents, the Water Basin Agency of Souss Massa, whether alone or in coordination with these partners, adopts and implements procedures and communicating activities with the aim of activating the educational role to preserve the water wealth from waste and extravagance, as well as highlighting the policies to relate to taking all the means in water management. Progress in the field of water conservation requires awareness of the seriousness of the current situations and the dangers of depleting water resources in the Souss Massa Water Basin, intensification of efforts through raising the level of awareness, and mention in this context the role played by the Water Museum of the Youssef Noutachfine Dam in introducing water heritage, by attracting different groups of visitors annually, and to consolidate awareness of water's value stemming from the long-established methods of collecting, managing and distributing it. And in pursuit of achieving the goal of sustainable development in participatory manner, the Water Basin Agency of Souss Massa is working to establish partnership with various international actors from France, Spain, Germany, Belgium, and others, in order to find the solutions to face the continuous pressures faced by water resources at the basin level, by adapting an integrated resource management model water, whether locally, nationally, or internationally. Morocco has made great achievements in water policy and pioneering experiences. Thanks to the wise and proactive policy on His Majesty King Mohammed VI, may God have protected him, which launched by the late King Hassan II, may God have mercy on him, based mainly on the maximum mobilization and the right management of the demand for water resources. The challenges faces the water world in the Souss Massa Basin, need to develop set policies to confront them, begin with the launch of the policy of major dams in the year 1967, until the signing of the framework agreement for the completion of the National Program for the Supply of Drinking Water and Irrigation Water 2020 and 2027 in front of His Majesty King Mohammed VI in January 2020. Despite the various constraints, notably with the severe shortage of water resources, the Souss Massa Hydraulic Basin Agency has made huge progress and great achievements in managing the water sector by ensuring a high level of management and protection of water resources, taking into account the work of aquatic ecosystems. The Souss Massa Hydraulic Basin Agency motto is "All for a safe hydraulic basin and an ecological balanced Morocco."